Hey everyone, and welcome back to another story time!
Oh yeah, I've been excited all day!
So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this story takes place not too long ago actually. I would honestly say this was about 2 summers ago, and I was going out around the bay to see my family. I got my stuff ready, and I got going with my family on a road trip because why not, right? So after the 3-hour drive, we're at my uncle's house. We're packing our stuff, away, and we're settling in and getting used to the good old country life because, well, essentially that's what around the bay was. So my uncle, he was great, he loves us and stuff. He let my younger brother, ride a quad by himself. And well, it was not really his fault, to be quite honest. It was more my fault because, well, I agreed to supervise him. So, I hop on the quad, I let my younger brother get on the quad and drive it. So I was like, you know what, it can't be that bad, right? I mean, I'm there, I'm supervising, I got this. Whatever. So I get on the quad and we get going. Things are going okay, I guess, for the first minute. So we go on the path, we leave my uncle's backyard, and we're in the forest, alright? But then, I was just like, bro, you should probably go right, maybe, towards the road, not the forest, and, he turned right, and he started heading towards the main road. So what happened was, there was a pretty big ditch separating from where we were to get to the road. And well, I stood there I sat in the back of the quad, looking, just like thinking, again, just woke up, and I was stupid to let my brother convince me that he could go drive into the ditch and make it on the road without screwing up. Oh, this was bad. This was freaky thinking back to this. So he went right into the ditch and went right up the hill to get on the road. So a car was not only coming towards us as we were doing this, but the quad almost did a flip and almost fell on top of both me and my brother. And this was the worst part. So what happened was, we went to the ditch and he went up. The quad actually fell on its back on the road. So think of a quad literally facing the sky. Me and my brother were literally on the quad looking up at the sky as the quad was about to tip backwards into the ditch. And luckily, I remember the car happened to, just kind of swerve around us without stopping, by the way. But what happened was that the quad was stuck and was slowly beginning to tip backwards. So I had to immediately get off the quad without, it falling on us and get my brother off and also prevent the quad from falling down because the quads are expensive, okay? And I was not about to go back to my uncle and explain this situation because I know I was done. So I got off, I got my brother off, I pushed the quad forward and it landed on the road, and we were okay. I kind of hurt myself a bit, but we were fine, and we continued to go back to my uncle's house. Now, that's just one part to this story. There is still a part 2, so sit back down. We are not done with this story. So this was more of a situation that was more life-threatening, I should say. So this happened still around the bay, so this is still kind of relevant to the story. So I think this was a few days after, right? It started to snow, there was a lot of snow everywhere. I believe we had a storm, and my uncle, actually no, sorry, not my uncle, we were at my uncle's house, and my cousins were there. Now I don't see my cousins very often, and I personally don't really relate with them. So it's kind of no different than being around strangers, and it was just kind of awkward. Now, my uncle suggested that, my uncle and my parents suggested that I maybe hang out with my cousins, who, by the way, were older than me, and try and, just have a good time, just hang out with them, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, and I went for it, because I was just like, you know what, fine, whatever, sure. And it turned out that my cousins were actually gonna go to the cabin, which was across a frozen pond. So, you know, there's snow everywhere, it's winter time, and well, I went. Now, how we got there to the cabin, we took their skidoos. Skidoos are used for, you know, traveling on the snow, if you don't know what a skidoo is. I hopped on one of the skidoos with my cousin, who admittingly is a bigger fellow. Very, very big. So there's really not much room for me on the back, and there was also no back to this skidoo. So if you fall off the back, you're actually falling off the vehicle. So that was a little worrying. So what happened, right? So there was 3 of us, 3 skidoos, and you know, just picture me right behind my huge cousin on this skidoo, and we're going across the frozen pond. Now this was about a 15-20 minute drive to get to the cabin, and we were going, I want to say a solid 60-70 miles per hour on these skidoos. We were going fast, okay? I don't even know if skidoos can go that fast, but they were going fast. And I remember what happened was, as we were going across this frozen lake, I was hanging on for dear life, right? Because we're going so fast, there's no back, and if I fall, I'm done. I'm done. You want to know why? Not because I'm going to fall into the fluffy snow, but because my cousins were behind us on the skidoo. So if you look back, my cousins are also right behind us, and if I were to fall, they would have run over me. Probably would have died. Probably even worse. Is there even worse than that? Maybe I would have fell in the lake, suffered a little bit, and then died. I don't know. But regardless, it was pretty scary. I got extremely nervous. And then, this was the worst part. We went over a slope, and I actually almost fell off the skidoo. We went over this slope, and I literally lost my grip on my cousin, and I was hanging on for dear life on the skidoo, and I almost fell off, and he didn't even stop. Like, he couldn't even hear me, and I almost died. I literally almost fell and almost got run over by the skidoo behind us. But I got my grip. We stopped the skidoo because I was like screaming. I got myself back on, and and then we continued to the cabin. And yeah, that was an experience. I don't even want to get into the cabin experience. I didn't really enjoy that much, but you know what? Either way, I still did it, and that's all that matters. Hey guys, I hope you did enjoy that animated story. It was animated beautifully by Angel X Mikey. You should totally check his channel out when you get the chance. And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more great content. Alright guys, thank you again so much, and I will see you in the next video.